Welcome to WBSU Bulldog Nation Radio. I am your host, Nat, and I'm here with my co-host,
Ty,
Edward McNeil.
And today, I'll be interviewing a very special guest. But before I get into that, I would like to acknowledge that it's officially Women's History Month. So for the month, try to take the time to learn about the trailblazers and the women who have made history, as well as taking the time to appreciate the women in your life. I know all y'all got women in your life. Take the time to appreciate them. Tell them you love them. And also, I would like to say congratulations to all the faculty, students, and staff in our community as we celebrate Bowie State University's 160th anniversary.
Wow.
We have been here for years, y'all, and we still going strong.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I would like to introduce our special guest. He is an upcoming rapper, songwriter, and producer here from PG County, Maryland, and he just recently dropped a new project. Here is Azure The Paradox.
Yay. Welcome to Bowie, man.
Welcome to Bowie State.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Now, first, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Azure The Paradox. Like you said, I'm from PG County. I've been making music since I was like 15, 16. Probably even before that. Can't even remember at this point. But yeah, I love hip hop. I love rap. I love film. I just love everything. And I just love creating. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I want to do in my life.
Nice.
What inspires you to make music?
Michael Jackson dying. It's definitely that. Yeah. Because I got into him like kind of late. I was born in 2000. So like he was only around for like 9 years when I was a kid. And then he just... So I was like, we got the same name. I could do something with that.
Hey.
Okay. Yeah. And you mentioned that you like all genres of like basically art and entertainment. So what made you realize that music was your Pacific lane to pursue? If you like acting and film and all those other great things.
I mean, music it clicked the easiest and the earliest for me. So I just went into that and I just did research. I just studied and got better as I went along, and now I'm here.
What is your process when it comes to making music, like writing, finding, like I mentioned, you're a producer, so you make your own instrumentals sometimes. What is your process?
It starts with the idea first. Like for anything, it starts with the idea, and then I either start with the beat first typically, and then I start writing lyrics as I'm producing the beat, so that all happens at the same time, and then a song happens. It just sort of materializes out of nowhere, and it's cool. It's very rare I have to spend like more than like a day on a song, but it happens. But yeah, it's all pretty easy.
Now, as I mentioned before, you recently dropped a new project. Would you mind talking about that, telling us a little bit about this new project that you just released?
Yeah, I just released this album called What Doesn't Kill You. Been working on it for 2 years, which is insane. I've never spent that much time on anything. So I'm just excited for it to finally be out. It's very personal. It's very, I wouldn't say uplifting, but it's full of bangers, and it's full of like crazy deep cuts, and it's my baby. I love it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I said, that must be your baby.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was going to ask, what was the process of creating this new album? What went into the process?
Yeah, I just come off of the last one in 2023, No More Love Songs, and I was just in a rut a little bit, so I just started making random music, and it started culminating into something cool. Started seeing a bunch of thorough lines and stuff that was like cohesively fitting together, so I just started focusing on that. And then, the 60, 70 songs became like 200-ish, and then I whittled that down, and I just kept focusing on the ones that were like really, really good. And yeah, we ended up with the 16 that we have now. 16, 17, I forgot the number. Wow.
That's crazy. How do you even whittle down so many songs to only like a select few for an album? You must have so many amazing songs that the public don't even know that you have yet.
I mean, it's definitely a lot less amazing songs there. You always end up making some type of trash along the way. It's just a matter of finding the songs that you don't get sick of hearing time and time again, because making music is just listening to the same things over and over and over. The ones that stick, the ones that still feel new after like 35 times listening to it like in a row, those are the ones that you keep.
Now, after listening to the project, which is amazing, by the way, I noticed that healing seems to be a common theme in the project. Do you feel that music in general, or specifically this project, has helped you to heal from past trauma?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely worked through a lot of stuff working on this album, just working on music in general. Like, this is kind of how I grew my communication skills as a young little dude in school. So music is very healing, and this project in particular, because I grew along with the making of the project, I definitely feel like I'm a different person now than I was when I started making it.
What would you say is is your target audience? Who do you believe your music will most influence?
It's actually a really good question. Hopefully, people that are in like my same, age range. That's kind of who I go for. The ragers, the lovers, just the people that love arts, love the music, love life, just anyone really, but specifically those people.
And I gotta ask, because I'm from PG County as well, would you say that growing up in PG County had an impact on your style of music? If so, how?
I think it had the opposite impact, honestly, because like I didn't grow up listening to PG County, like DMV music in general. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get into that until like high school, and by then I already had like my entire like musical identity sort of formed. Like I was already into like Kendrick Lamar back then and Travis Scott, so I didn't really get the entire DMV rap thing when I was growing up, so I sort of grew away from that. So when I started making music, I was making stuff in spite of it, like purely to feel opposed to it, I guess.
I want to know, where did you get your name from? It sounds really exotic. Where did that name come from?
Very unique.
Azuri, where?
It really is exotic. I wanted something unique that I wouldn't have to worry about trademarking because no one else could come with it.
Okay.
So Azure comes from this video game I used to play called Blaze Blue on the 3DS, and then the Paradox part that came from Tyler the Creator, who is one of my favorite artists growing up. The song Yonkers, it starts off like I'm a walking paradise. Yeah, so that's where that came from.
One thing I liked about this project and your music in general is you tend to have a lot of variety. If you listen to this project, you'll have songs that you want to get lit to, that you want to dance to, as well as songs that may want to make you cry about getting your heart broken. So my question is, how important do you feel it is for you to have this kind of variety?
I mean, it's never just one type of person listen to an album. You can't just cater to just one area or one specific denomination or market. So I feel like you got to have that variety. Otherwise, you're going to get sick of it. And you can't just make the same song 30 times, put it on an album, and it's like, all right, album done. You got to have something to shake it up.
He has a song on the project. It is entitled Fear of Missing Out. When he starts off, the song is very upbeat, catchy. You think it's going to be a dance song, and then beat drops and he starts talking about mental health. Yeah. What was the thought process behind that?
So Soroka, the producer, Ben Soroka, he had sent both of the beats at the same time, so I was listening to them both at the same time, and I was I forgot what movie I was watching, but the movie that I was watching, I think it was some horror thing, but there was like this really cool like plot twist stuff in the middle, so I was like, I kind of want to do that, but like with this song, like, because normally when I do beat switches or part 2s, I always keep them somewhat cohesive, but I want to do something different, so I wanted to like just have the entire tone switch halfway through.
Because you did it really well, and I feel like most people wouldn't expect that from a song. Would you say that sets you apart?
Yeah, I love doing the unexpected. No one else has my brain, so I have to do what no one else can do.
There is another song on your project. It is entitled Jesus Christ. You managed to combine both religious aspects and secular aspects into one song, and you somehow made it work. Now, I don't want to get into religious beliefs or anything like that, but I would like to ask how you went about blending those two completely different elements.
It just came natural, honestly. I just want to make something fun, something that I could play at concerts and like really hype people up and go crazy for it. And I have seen it with this song. It does go really hard live. Yeah.
And you actually brought the song with you.
I did.
That was a little treat for. Would y'all like to hear it?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Would y'all in the studio like to hear it? We're gonna play it for y'all right now. Right, you got you a banger on your hands, man.
Right.
Thank you.
Nice.
Wow.
And what I like the most is, because right now you seem all calm, cool, and collected. That sound like that's your alter ego when you hit that mic. So
literally.
I like it.
It do feel like that. I also just woke up, so the energy hasn't gotten up there yet.
We got to take a short break. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more questions. Welcome back to WBSU Bulldog Nation Radio. If you're just now joining us, we are currently interviewing our special guest, who is a rapper, songwriter, and producer named Azure The Paradox. But before we get back into our questioning, I just wanted to remind you all again that it is Women's History Month. Take the time to love and appreciate all the women in your life, as well as making sure to learn all the women's history that you can, because women are important. Women give us life. And also, once again, congratulations to Bowie State University on its 160th anniversary. Take the time. Yes! Yes.
Great day to be a
Y'all
Bulldog.
know we are the oldest HBCU in the state?
Wow.
Yes, that is an accomplishment.
That's epic.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Take the time to celebrate. Now, back to our guest, Mr. Azure The Paradox. Once again, that song was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You reference a lot of film in your songs. What is your relationship with film?
Film, it goes right hand in hand with music. I grew up off of it. I remember watching Alien for the first time with my mom when I was like 2. I've just been in love with film, like as far as I can remember. So I try to bring that into the music as much as I can. And, you know, we end up having songs like Ichi the Killer or a bunch of other stuff on there like The Crow. Movies just go so well with music.
What's your favorite film reference in the song?
Favorite film reference in a song? I wouldn't even know. Like in one of my songs.
Yeah.
I mean, more recently, definitely probably the hook on Ichi the Killer. It just hits. I love that movie. So like just the motion of the dude in the movie when he's doing all of his kicks and stuff, it just hits different.
Can you see yourself doing a soundtrack for a movie? And
Definitely.
if so, like what kind of movie?
I definitely want to do a horror movie.
Okay.
100%. But also, like, I think I would do really well with one of those old Hong Kong action movies, like one of them old Jackie Chan ones.
I can see that.
Okay.
I could definitely hear that.
Yeah,
Like
those
there's a
kung
fight
fu movies
scene.
are the best.
Like he in a mall somewhere hopping off of chandeliers and stuff, and you just hear me in the background. Yeah, I feel like that would hit.
Would you say that when you're creating a project, you're looking at it in the same way a writer might be writing a script?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I'm putting it like all together, like all the songs together in sequence. I definitely look at it as if it's like a script. You have a first act, a second act, a third act. You have conclusions. You have plot twists and everything. And a lot of projects that I make them like 2 movies. It's like you can play them and they sync up somewhat with movies. I like that.
Do you have any favorite movies, or are there any movies that inspires you to make songs?
Definitely Akira is the one that's inspired me the most. That's just a beautiful movie. Lately it's been Drive, The Fall Guy, Interstellar.
I wanted to ask you about the collaborative process. You do tend to work with a lot of artists both inside here that are local. You said you work with Ben Soroka, shout out to him. You work with artists from Minnesota as well as artists from Houston. How integral would you say collaboration is to the creative process?
Oh, it's very integral, at least nowadays. Back when I was first making music, like when I was in college, I was very much like solo. I was just working by myself. I wanted to be by myself. Nowadays, I make something, Ben gets it first, the guys get it first, my manager gets it first. I'm very collaborative. I want people to be involved in everything that I do music-wise.
So if you had the chance to collaborate with any artist of your choice right now, who would it be?
Alive or dead?
Both.
For dead people, I want to go with Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, okay.
Dark
What
Horse.
do you know about Jimi
I love Jimmy.
Hendrix?
Love me
Yeah.
some Jimmy.
What do you know about Jimmy?
Not a lot, but I know that he is like one of the best guitarists ever, and I'm really trying to get into guitar a lot more, so I definitely want to work with Jimmy. For alive people, Tupac counts.
Really?
He out in Cuba somewhere.
Dead.
We cannot know.
You know what?
Cuba
I
somewhere.
truly believe that with Asada, his godmother.
If he's all right, if we're talking about actually alive people, alive,
like
probably
current
Travis
day.
Scott.
I love how you take more than just hip hop. You are a hip hop artist. Do you feel like it would be important for other artists who want to do hip hop and come in? Do you think it would be important for them to also take influence from outside genres instead of just staying in the hip hop genre?
Oh, 100%. Because like hip hop, when it started, was based off of jazz, like sampling in general. Hip hop is foundationally built to interpret all the other genres of music. So you have the fusions of like, you know, country, of rock, of pop. So hip hop is never just one thing. It's always been a thing that unifies all the other genres of music. That's why I feel like it's the best genre of music just in general, because it collaborates everything together.
Going back to collaborating with other people with music, how important is it to collaborate and build those professional relationships in the music industry?
Now more than ever, it's necessary because it's so hard to break in nowadays. It's very tight knit. Unless you know somebody, you're not getting in at this point. You can't just camp outside a building handing out CD. Bruh, check this out, man. I swear I'm next up. You can't do that no more, because there's 1,000 people that's doing it right now on TikTok and stuff. So you gotta know people to really get there.
Since you mentioned TikTok, what are some of the social media platforms that you do have your music on now currently?
I am on everything. I try to be on as many things as possible. I'm not that active on TikTok because that's just my dead scrolling thing that I do in the morning. I don't really make a lot of content for that, but I try to be active on like Twitter and post whenever I feel unhinged things coming to mind.
Now, since we're bringing social media and technology into it, it would not be right if I did not ask you about the rise of AI and AI being integrated in music. Now, yes, I'm sorry, I have to do it.
true.
Now, as a musician, do you see it as a positive thing or do you see them as competition?
I see it as the most negative thing possible. When you're taking away jobs and you're taking away the creative aspect, you're bankrupting yourself. Generative AI, like you can only do so much with it before it starts aping on itself, and then you're making this cyst. You know, I hate Kanye so much right now for what he's doing. All his latest stuff is AI, and I just can't stand it because there's no soul. You can't replicate that. They can't make fingers. You can't make fingers. Why are you making music?
Let's talk about AI art, guys.
Some people will say AI is helping also because of the information it could generate pretty quickly and get it out there. But I think that just makes a human reliable and lazy in effect too, thinking that AI can solve all your problems.
And AI can only be so creative because the way AI works is it teaches itself from what's already there. Would you agree with that? Like, you feel like at the end of the day,
you can really look it up.
Yeah, I think you might as well learn it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what AI is just doing.
There was a whole thing a year or so ago where AI was getting so convoluted because it started generating stuff off of stuff AI was already making. So it's just this weird incest AI thing that's getting generated because it can't tell the difference between what it already has made and what it hasn't. You know, we don't need that. People forget Terminator 2 happened. It's right there. That's where we're leading into. It's either going to be that or Wall-E. No one wants to be fat. No one wants to be fighting robots. I don't got time for that.
Now, as an artist, how do you compete with AI?
By being human.
Hey, there you go. You already won.
Yeah, I'm already winning. Yeah.
You have a soul.
Exactly.
Yes.
AI cannot compete with human creativity. That's what you are saying here?
Never.
What do you feel that you personally bring to the current music scene?
Originality. I feel like there's no one else that's ever going to be like me. So I feel like I have to fill in that niche, that role that only I can fill in, you know. No one knew we needed a Tyler Creator in rap until Tyler Creator popped in. We didn't know we needed a Kendrick. So I feel like I am not a missing link, so to say, but there's definitely a niche that I feel like only I can fill. So I'm going to do that. I feel like that's my job here.
Now, to piggyback on that question, you say that you do feel like you have your spot and that you do bring something. How do you feel about older artists coming in saying, oh, you don't belong here, this is what it should sound like, and you coming in sounding completely different?
You should always respect your elders, but I can only go so far because I didn't grow up listening to Tupac or like Biggie. I grew up listening to Michael Jackson and Soulja Boy. That was my era of music. Soulja Boy's rise, you know, the Block era, Childish Gambino, Travis Scott, all these older artists coming in saying we don't belong. You weren't even around when I was coming up. The closest we got to that is like Lil Wayne, and even then, you know, not exactly at his peak anymore. So I just feel like if you're not going to evolve and adapt with the times, you don't really have a place.
One big critique that the younger generation gets is a lot of the music is very negative. They say a lot of times with music you want to keep it summer, not bummer, but you also want to be able to keep it true to yourself, and not all experience are good. On your project, you talk a lot about struggles with your mental health along with your use of unhealthy vices, which led you to a very dark place. How do you balance the negativity with the positivity?
Life isn't all just negative, you know, as much as we like to make it out like, oh, doom and gloom. There are good spots to life every now and then. So you have to be appreciative. You have to see all sides of everything. It's more prevalent now just because like we're a lot more tuned with mental health nowadays than we were back in like the 80s and the 90s. Like it wasn't really like a culturally acceptable thing for it all to be public. And now it kind of is, but just to a somewhat annoying degree. So you have that, shut up, man, no one cares. It's really just about seeing all sides of everything.
We touched up on mental health a couple times. How important is mental health to you, and how are you able to incorporate that in your music?
My music is just an extension of myself. If I'm depressed, the song's going to come out depressed. If I'm turned up, the song's going to come out turned up. However I'm feeling at a certain time, I'll just make a song, and that's just how it's going to go. And throughout making the song, I may feel better, I may feel worse, but you know, I'm going to feel something, and that's what music is. You know, it's producing feelings that can be audibly heard.
Now, I want to ask some questions on behalf of my other up-and-coming artists out there. Do you think it would be important for them to also try and integrate that their personal feelings and life experiences through music?
Oh, 100%. You got to be authentic. You can't just pretend. You can't just live by proxy. You have to live your life, live your truth. You can't rap somebody else's life like Rick Ross or something. You have to be authentic. That's what makes you you. And that's what we need more of in music, is more authenticity.
My last question for you is, what wisdom would you like to share with our audience and anyone else interested in doing what you do?
Don't be trash. If you know it's not going to work out for you, it's okay to give up. But if you feel like you have something, don't don't give up. As long as it's working and it's good and people are receptive to it, because music at the end of the day is about public opinion. So if the public ain't giving you a positive opinion, you gotta, if a little bit, you gotta adapt. But if adapting only gets you so far, if you're just not good, you're just not good. It's okay to give up, Little Pump. Like, smoke perk. Like, you don't have to keep going for the sake of keeping going. If it's not working out, it's okay. Find something else, pivot. But if it's working, keep at it, keep learning, and keep doing what you do best. Just make sure you're doing it your best.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Azure The Paradox. Will you mind telling the audience where they can listen to you as well as where they can follow you?
Yeah, my name is Azure The Paradox. You can find me on every single streaming platform, AZURE The Paradox. I'm also on Twitter, or the other name, at Azure_DMV, and on Instagram at Azure The Paradox. Hit me up.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us. What Doesn't Kill You is available on all streaming platforms. Thank you so much for joining us here at WBSU Bulldog Nation Radio. I've been your host, Nat. These have been my co-hosts,
Taisha Richardson
and that word McNeil.
Happy Women's History Month and happy anniversary, Bowie State University. We will see you next time.
Yeah. Shout out to the women. Yeah.